the first day of spring. All right, we're live.
Hello, everybody. Today is 21st of March, 2019. Today, I think, is the first day of spring. I apologize for yesterday. Just got off of duty on the fast, so I do apologize. But today, I kind of want to go where I was trying to go yesterday. Everything they're doing, if you look at the four major things they're pushing, fixing the electoral college, 16-year-olds to vote, illegals to vote, and they're going to give you
The Supreme Court.
the thing Supreme Court is, you know, folks, this is going to be a race for blood. But I don't necessarily mean shooting up blood. I'm talking about blood. It's the real deal. This race is for all nuance. If you can't see the Democrats loading up to play this game hard and fast, you're not looking. Of course, they've got a willing media. That's going to make it hard. They've got a House that's controlled by the Democrats. It's going to make it hard. And make it hard on Trump. And then you've got whoever is behind the overall socialism of America, socialization of America. I know it to be what's called the Progressive Council. That's why I've warned you about progressives for a couple, 3 years now. They fully intend to change, transform our form of government. There is a congressman, I think, or senator, I don't know if she is a Republican, that's introducing an amendment to fix it to where the Supreme Court only has 9 justices. I don't know where that would go, but at least he's doing it. But it's what he said when he was on television that I caught a glimpse of. And he was so true. Now, folks, listen to me, especially all of you that have been in the military. He said he was an ex-soldier and that he had taken an oath, as we all did, to protect and defend the Constitution. Now, to protect and defend the Constitution, and all of us that served and took that oath, I feel like we're still bound by it. You know, when I took the oath, it didn't say for the number of years you're in the military. You swore to do it.
Forgive me for interrupting, Larry, but doesn't Congress have to swear to that as well?
I'm sorry, what?
Does Congress have to swear to that when they come into office?
They do, but I don't believe them. I don't believe them. Yes, they're supposed to, Mary Ellen, but when they can come in and swear on the Quran, which basically says anything that they want to say can be a lie and it'd be okay. When they come in and refuse to sign an oath or take the oath for the Bible because they're atheists, then they have nothing governing their moral compass. So I don't believe it. And I don't believe the ones that stuck their hand on it, on the Bible, and said it, most of them. But this guy was right. When you go and you change the makeup of the Supreme Court, what are you doing? In changing our founders' Constitution that they put together, this Constitution, the way the government's supposed to run. Our government was meant to be small, ever, ever, ever small. And the power was to be distributed first to the states, then to the people. It was never meant to centralize, never meant to centralize government. And what that representative said is the truth better than I could say it or anybody else, I guess. He said that by doing what they're doing with the Supreme Court, what you're going to end up with is one day you end up with 5 judges that basically functioning for the past years. They basically run things. We don't. Congress doesn't. Congress passes a law, and it gets challenged, and it goes before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court rules it is unconstitutional. You see, they see the Constitution as a living document. Now, what does that mean? I mean, you and I know that the principles and precepts of it live, they're living, they're here today. The moral foundation of it is living, it's here today. That's not what they mean. They say the Constitution is living, it's a living Constitution. What they're telling you is when they evaluate something, they can rule, well, the Constitution probably meant this. They start interjecting what they want to happen and just simply putting that little, well, they really meant this, or they couldn't have known this back then, so now we can. You see what they're doing? They're just totally circumventing government. So if you ask me today who runs the country, is it the president? Is it Congress? Is it the Supreme Court? The answer is quite simple. The Supreme Court. The president can say what he wants to do. He can apply it, but it goes to the Supreme Court. They'll determine whether it's approved or not. Congress can pass any law it wants to pass. If it's challenged, then it would be Supreme Court. So who's in control of the country today? The Supreme Court. Thank God we have got enough judges on there to at least break an absolute dynasty. But it's important. It's important that we get back to the way our government was meant to be, not change it. And all of the changes that the Democrats are talking about, 16-year-olds to vote, we talked about that yesterday, how the school teachers can control their vote. A massive number of new voters. Because they can get them down out of school, go vote for us to the polls. Told you about the illegals voting. That's a massacre. You add all those people up, and the Democrats win every election from now on. You get it?
Isn't that their whole point?
That is their whole point. And since they can't win, they think, I hope they think, but I hope it, but they think it, they think that they can't be beat. They do. They think they just can't be beat because they can offer sweeteners now that they control the House of Representatives. They can offer sweeteners to buy votes from different sectors and segments of society. That's where we come in. We have to tell the truth. And we have to reach people that have some semblance of logic to them. As I've told you, this race counts a lot over each side's race getting activated. Unfortunately, the things they're offering, college tuition or college paid off with voting, et cetera, all those things, separation, they don't allow a lot of votes in their base. They're going to energize their base. What they don't have yet is a candidate that energizes their base. But they're doubling down. They're doubling down. They're putting the moves on their base to make sure they get activated and come out and vote. And I don't need to tell you that they have done a good job to their base of making them absolutely hate the ground Trump walks on. They will do anything to vote for Trump. That's their base. They're working to get it covered. not her actually saying democratic socialism. And of course, you had Bernie Sanders talking about socialism. And because Sanders had such a vote with the young, they've committed to it now. They've committed to coming on out and bringing it on. Now's the time. That's our battleground. That's our battleground. Never socialism. If we can make Trump's base aware that whoever they run as president, whether president on their Democratic ticket, whoever it is, if we can make that base understand that that person needs socialism for this country. Now, if we can get that message across, and no matter what they do to Trump during the campaign, no matter what lies they tell, no matter what fake investigations they pull off, they've already made such mockeries of law that it's not impossible to think of anything they'll pull. But if we can make our base realize that voting for a Democrat is voting straight on for socialism, and that if you don't vote, you voted. That's the tricky one. You got to convince them that if you don't vote, you have voted. If you don't vote, you're voting for the Democratic nominee for president, and there too, you're voting for socialism. And it's going to be pretty vivid as this race continues on, because we do have the benefit of Cortez's, once they put her in, the, whatever they call them, Democrat, something or other, Justice Democrats. They're going to try to flush the House Democratic primary with candidates that are full-blooded socialists. Full-blooded, they may not say it, but that's what they'll be. They may not even know it, but that's what they'll be. You see, that's what's hard about the millennials. That's what's hard about the younger generation. And I'm talking about some of the politicians running from the younger generation. They don't know if they've been brainwashed, folks. You don't know if you're brainwashed. They don't know, some of them, that what they're talking about is socialism. They've got these sugar plum pie in the sky beliefs that money just grows on trees and the government can bring anything it wants. And everybody's got abundance of money and everybody's happy in this utopia called socialism. And they don't have the common sense to look at Venezuela. We'll be leading an effort. We're going to be working with the group that is the Hispanics against socialism. It is a division of the National Organization Against Socialism. I wish y'all would go to that site. There is a petition there that I want you to read and sign, if you will. The building, National Organization, the National Organization Against Socialism, their webpage. They have a splinter group called the Hispanics Against Socialism. And what we're trying to do, or what they're trying to do, not me, what they're trying to do is find people here legally that have come here from countries like Venezuela and others and get testimonials from those people to the Hispanic community. My God, we just left that world. Why on earth would we bring it here? It's a powerful message. It's one that we can't deliver. It's one that that community has to build within itself. And I applaud the people that are forming that organization and their efforts and what they're trying to do. So we're going to do it. We are going to do it. We're going to be there. And if they can get the word to the Hispanic community, that's a huge block of votes the Democrats are counting on. In any event made in that group will be significant towards winning the election for Trump. A lot of stuff going on that look like it in the news. But much is going on. And by the way, if you have questions or comments, start now, get them in if you haven't. But I'd like other side and got in line and surrendered to the Border Patrol. Figure it out. Right there. It was right in full broad daylight. Just right in front of everybody. The numbers coming across the border now are staggering. Staggering. I also heard that these detention centers for the families, they got 3,000 beds in this detention center that we pay for. We pay to build them and keep them in there. Nice, there's nothing bad about it. Problem is, they got 40,000 that need them. They got 3,000 beds and 40,000 people. So now, the Border Patrol normally turns illegals they catch over to ICE, and then ICE basically whoops them, tries to get them into court, whatever. But it's so bad now that the Border Patrol doesn't even give them to ICE, they just turn around and send them back. Folks, it's nuts. We have to do something. And for the Democrats to sit back and to continue to say there is no crisis is treasonous to me. Treasonous. Because these people coming across our border, whether they're criminals or not, the minute they get here, they place a financial burden on this nation that we cannot hold on to. We can't keep up. $74,000 per each one that's set foot here. 74,000. The numbers are scary. And pretty soon, if it keeps going, you better listen to me. It's another one I live in the blizzards for the future. It's my opinion, by the way, just my opinion, but it's going to happen. As this number keeps growing, watch what the bond companies do, Standard & Poor's, and those guys, watch what they do to U.S. bonds. Remember, 74,000 times every one of them that comes in, and me and them coming in. And that's a draw against our money. And just keep running up a bigger debt, a bigger debt, a bigger debt, and pretty soon that is going to affect what we can sell U.S. bonds for. That's how big a crisis it is. It's huge. And the Democrats, in the interest of trying to hurt Trump, are willing to let our nation suffer what could be a defeating blow. Now, I don't understand why more Americans can't honestly just see that. They don't have to be conservative. They don't have to be liberal. They don't have to be Democrat or Republican or independent. I'm shocked that more Americans don't see it. And that goes back to us again. We've got to get it out. You know, folks, the threat of socialism is real, serious. The threat of the damage being done by the border, southern border, is serious. And just because ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, and MSNBC, just because they want to ignore it to benefit the Democrats in their political battle against Trump, just because they want to do that, they're all setting willing to destroy our country, and that makes it even more serious than just the influx of people coming in. When we've got the government and media that are supporting anything that would damage or hurt this nation, comfortable for us, like make phone calls to a congressman or a senator. Or you know what, wear a t-shirt that has people come up and ask you about it. Maybe I'm comfortable, but we gotta do it. And I don't see where wearing a t-shirt that says never socialism is in any way harmful. And if it spawns a conversation, somebody that wants to know, that's a gigantic breakthrough for us. So please get them and wear them. It's that important. Get them and wear them. Any questions?
We have a comment here. Both parties sold out our country. Do you want to talk about how the Republicans are in cahoots with the Democrats in many ways to hurt our president and our country, and why?
Well, excuse my coughing, I'm trying to hang in with you. The difference between Democrats and Republicans, it's easy as summed up. None. Any congressman that has been there for at least 2 terms, any senator that's been there 1 full term, you can bet the system has taken them over to some degree. Maybe all the way, maybe part of the way, but they do get it. And what happens is Republicans and Democrats vote. It's a game to them. The 2-party system was actually quite brilliant. It sets us up to where we never get a choice. And as you saw in the 2016, when I had been trying for election after election after election before it, you saw in 2016 what I had done with people for years. The corruption within the party makes it impossible ordinarily for a candidate that the system wants to win to lose. It's impossible unless you had Trump and unless he had such a following that when they tried to bend the rules and cheat him out of his delegates, he beat them. But he only beat them because of what? The number of people following him. Us. That's why he beat us. He became an enough force that they had to recognize the threat. But for the first time you saw the rig right in front of God and everybody, you saw both parties were really stacked. Bernie Sanders should have been the candidate. Trump should have been the candidate 10 times over instead of having to squeak by in some of these places. So what is the difference between Republicans and Democrats? I say again, they've got an agenda. They want to be in Washington, D.C. in the middle of the elitist group that takes over this country. That's what they want. That's what they're waiting for. That's what they're paying huge amount of money in campaigns for. It's not for the job. You can see right now they can get 2 hoots in the deepest dam about the job that in the House all they're doing is shagging Trump. They're not working on legislation for the country. They're trying to trap and catch Trump doing something. They devoted the whole of all of their committees to go get him. And the Senate is sitting and waiting to twiddling its thumb for whatever they come up with. There's nothing going on. They're not working. So tell me why they can show any one of them to go back in. Why? I'm surprised some smart, cunning attorney doesn't go after Congress for the writ of mandamus for the whole damn bunch. A writ of mandamus is when you elect somebody to be dog catcher. Time passes and they refuse to catch dogs, so you go to court with a mandamus action, and then the judge tells me the guy to collect dogs or they're out of there. He can make them lose the job right then.
But would the Supreme Court be in on it and not allow that to go forward and stop it, and then he'd be in trouble?
We're still go to the Supreme Court, but if it were done right, if it were done legally proper, is such a law, which there is. And honestly, I've seen half of the members of our Congress and our Senate, half of them are guilty of not doing the job they were sent to do by their constituents. But you see, to go in a lawsuit against them poses this problem. First off, you got to find an attorney, new one, old one, middle, whatever in his career. Any attorney that takes a case like that, likely it's not, will get blacklisted. And if they have aspirations of being a big law firm or joining a big law firm, if they take a case like this against the system, likely it's not, they'll be trashed. Let's say they didn't get trashed and ruined. Then it would go to a federal court. And of course, where we stand in federal court, we won't have a clean federal court with purview over that case. That would be either New York, Virginia, Washington, D.C., whichever one it would have been filed in. But if it did get through the court, then it would go to the Supreme Court. And I dare say the Supreme Court would probably shut it down. Shut it down. I was with Bill Rimple, Los Angeles Times, years ago. We were sitting in the little Holiday Inn on Broadway and having coffee. And I said, you know, Bill, why can't we prosecute politicians for theft by deception? Now think about that, folks, theft by deception. Let me explain. If you've got $10 and I lied to you under some premise to get your $10, that's called theft by deception. I deceived you out of your $10, right? Well, if you've got $10, that's 10 times the number of votes you got. If you've got $1 million, that's 1 million times the number. Your vote, to me, is more precious than the dollar. And it's so recognized as being more precious. That's why these campaigns spend millions of dollars trying to trick your vote. But it seems like when a politician says one thing to get elected and then turns around and does not live up to that commitment or even try to live up to that commitment, seems like the constituents ought to be allowed to go against him. Any one constituent of his constituents go against him for theft by deception for stealing their vote. Makes sense to me. Still does, as a matter of fact. You know what Bill Rimple said? The political guy from the Los Angeles Times. And he said, you can't do that. I said, why? He said, to tell politicians they can't lie would be like taking fish out of water. And you know, I said to him, that's a hell of a state we're in. That's just one of the big mess this country's in. We can literally sit here, you and I, right now, we're talking about it, not me and Bill Rimple, you and I are talking about it right now. We can sit here and say that these politicians lie to us. Take our vote and the 1 3 10 lie and do the opposite. And if we don't let them lie, it'd be like taking fish out of water. How low can we be to live like that? You don't want to go to a brain surgeon that lies all the time. No matter what he tells you, it's a lie. You don't want to go to anybody that serves work that when they're trying to get your work and doing your work, they're lying to you about everything that they're supposed to be doing in their time. And look at us, we say, ha ha, we know they all lie. Folks, we have run out of time with that. Yes, maybe it was funny back then, the Rimple. And it may be funny to a lot of people, but it's not funny to me. We've run out of time. We let that attitude too long without form of government. It's the people that are in it. That's the problem. Don't blame the Constitution for what we didn't do, and they are doing in Washington. We didn't pay attention and not let them steal our country. We sat back and let them do it. Alan?
Yep. Is it possible, here's another one, a repeat here. Is it possible Rosenstein and Mueller are just putting on a show going against the deep state?
I'll say that again.
Is it possible that Rosenstein and Mueller are just putting on a show while going after the deep state?
No. If I understand the question, you're saying, is there a chance they're putting on a show that they're bad guys, but they're really good guys going after the deep state? Is that correct?
Yes, that's the question.
No. There's nothing straightforward about Rosenstein. Nothing. And you can prove for yourself that Mueller is not working to believe the country at all when he went outside of his purview of his special counsel agreement. He was straight in dealt with it like a cause for him in books, but he didn't. He went on all these fishing expeditions. So no. And I do know there's some of the good guys working to expose this stuff. And they're working awful hard to keep the stuff they're finding out from Mueller. So no. Mueller's probably, if we win, and if we win, if we win, I mean, re-elect Trump, and we get it, we can't get people into the House and get it back at least to the Republicans. There's a chance Mueller's going to be on the one against them. For his involvement with
Uranium One.
So, and many other things, but Uranium One is a good case because it deals with treason and deals with treasonous acts. So therefore, you don't have statute of limitations problems. Any other question?
Yeah, we've got a good one. How do we teach the young ones in college about real socialism? Somebody was thinking about going and handing out pamphlets at a nearby college. Please, if you do that, make sure you wear the Never Socialism t-shirt.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing that could help you and do something is put a college campus on, get a t-shirt, and give it to one of the politically active conservative people, or get with that group, maybe they'll get a bunch of them. You should get that shirt, and others will want it. And then it'll spread. But yeah, you can pass out pamphlets, sure. It's hard to go with a pamphlet to go against 12, 13, 14, 15 years of social engineering. That's the problem. A pamphlet versus what they've been trained to believe. The simplest thing to do with a young person, please. And it's logical, so it probably won't work. Show them Venezuela. Show them Venezuela. And then the testimonials that the Hispanics against socialism are gathering. Hopefully, a couple of them are going to point out that when Venezuela was deciding to become a socialist nation or country, the stuff they were promising is virtually the same stuff that's being promised today with free health care, except for all the gifts. That's the thing to get them to look at. And God make them go to the internet and look at Venezuela. Is that what you want here? And then, if this makes any sense, try to get them to believe the truth over not.
And Beto with his nonsense, but he's,
Beto,
yeah.
Well, as is all of them. Now, the joke of jokes, this one will kill you. Biden is thinking about, Maryland, he's thinking about one head when he announces vice president pick. Now, let me see, Joe, you being old and white, what would you be wanting to put your vice president out there for during the primary? Oh, I see, so it can be a young black woman. So you've got the youth vote, you will think, and the black woman vote. So that's what he's going to do. And if I were a young person, I'd be offended. He'd think we're that stereotypical, that shallow. Same for women. I'd be offended. Would you, Marianne? Would you?
Yes. But I don't like him anyway, so.
Well, I think Joe, I still believe he's going to get in the race. His pride can't stop him. But I don't see him in a fair primary having much of a chance. But knowing the system the way I do, if he's the chosen one, then he'll get it. He'll get it. I'm yet to determine who the Democrat hierarchy have picked for their chosen one. I haven't seen that person yet. It's not going to be that Beto character. He's too wild. And I don't know who it's going to be.
It's hard to
Probably it'll be Joe Biden.
it's hard to believe it would be Bernie because of age and maybe, although I know he's still well liked, but
Well, Sanders has a problem. All of his ideas and things that he did have been adopted by young candidates. And so Bernie's vote, which would be sufficient enough to win, unfortunately for him, is going to be so fragmented and split up between some of the younger candidates pitching his same socialism. Would be, there's no way Bernie Sanders can win. Not the primary. I guess you'd call that another Nichols release. Mariana,
sure thing. Well,
any
that's
other questions?
no, those are all the questions we have right now. So folks, you hear people all the time stating the problem. How many people give you ideas of what you can do? And you've heard a couple of ideas today. I really liked what you said, Larry, about Joe Biden. I think the line that you used is a really good one to use with the young. Are you really that easily manipulated by youth? By, pick something that seems to be capturing their attention. And then bring them back to reality. Don't accuse them of being young and stupid, but ask questions. Can they really manipulate you this much?
Well, and I'd like to say, folks, I'm not kidding about the t-shirt. If you could take that t-shirt, if you could buy a couple of 3 or 4, if you're on t-shirt, conservative, public people, students that are, going around in politics on campus, there's a chance you can start a fad just with a t-shirt. T-shirt's cool. Well, tell them about it. You got yours today.
Yes, I did. I was going to show it to you, but the lighting from where I'm sitting right now is not good enough for you to actually see it. It is the detail. Larry's idea for this design, for this logo, is phenomenal. But the detail of the guy who computerized it, I'm blown away by the little itty bitty strings that hold this flag to the flagpole, and the gold knob at the top of the flagpole that's just so authentic looking. And not to mention the colors are just eye-popping. And the glittery V is V for victory. People will ask you, what's that V mean? V means victory. We need to get victory over not having socialism. We need to get the victory in saving our country from socialism.
Yeah, the purpose of the V is what you said, it means victory. But the reason I put it there was to show the roundabout. Never socialism. The problem. That's what's keeping the V from victory being up there. You got to win the socialism battle, then the V is victory. Doesn't mean victory, it is victory.
I will show you the shirt tomorrow. I will find a better location for lighting and show it at the beginning of tomorrow.
Is there anybody out there right now send a message or a thing
Text.
that will buy 5 shirts and pass them out at a college campus near you or anybody? Somebody said they'll be willing. I mean, I want to see action, folks. We've got to start being action oriented, not innocent oriented, action oriented. Is there anybody? Senator, what do you call it?
Well, just put a message in the chat if you're willing to buy 5 shirts. And if you are willing to buy shirts but don't live near a college, I do, and I know others who do, we will find somebody to take that shirt from you. We will mail it to, we'll mail it for you. So if you're willing to buy them, let us know, and we will take care of the details if you don't have some place to take them yourself.
Action. Please start taking action.
And if you don't have enough, if you don't have the $40 plus shipping to pay yourself, please get some other people at your church that you talk to, or your neighbors, or your friends and relatives. Find some people to go in together, even if all you buy is one. We've got somebody who is going to do a photo spread in a national magazine wearing our shirt, but she doesn't have the money to buy the shirt. We need to get her the money to buy the shirt. That's one place, and that's not college, but it is going to be eye-catching for a very large conservative contingency in this country.
And we've already seen that it works. We had a person test it. After a couple of people tested, wear it out and see if it actually generated people to come up and ask what it's about. It works. That's action. That's action. That's when you're not alone. You get the shirt, you find people that think like you do, and you're not alone. You do it. That's the key to networking. Now, that's one of the things we got to get in the habit of doing. We got to network out. I do.
Now,
what's going on?
In Maryland, we have a group called the Young Republicans. I don't know about other states, but we have a group called the Young Republicans in this state. And I didn't even think until just now about contacting them, but I will.
Get out of the group. There's not one person going to do that. Is that what I'm gathering?
Nobody has said anything yet. We've got 26 people here right now.
Well, folks.
Sorry, that's about the conference call at the end, at the beginning of the next hour.
Oh, okay. You were giving a minute.
Yeah, our conference call will start in 12 minutes. The number is 712-451-0725. And the access code is 492-215#. And if you punch the access code numbers in too quickly, they don't register and you have a hard time getting in.
All right, folks. At the same time, we need t-shirts. We need your help. Nothing's been coming in. So, if you can, please
And please remember, in 2016, this strategy that we are getting ready to use again is what we used to make sure that Trump got the nomination for the Republican Party for president. We used it, and it worked. And we're going to use it again.
The states where he was getting the shaft before the cold, and it worked. But that's just part of our strategy. The other parts went out. And I will pay in accordance with that. We need people that are just everyday people like y'all that will run for Congress, run for that house in the district, run for that office. We have a plan. You could just get the filing fee and do that offer to pay for it. They get that in. And this is the year that it can work. We need people to run. We need 100 candidates nationwide. Now that, let me go ahead and get out the PayPal account. Just Nichols line at AOL.com. Nichols line at AOL.com. And I can see on my phone if somebody sends something. So why doesn't somebody ping my phone now? Just so that I know it's out there with something. And then we hurt my feelings if it was 500 or 1,000. We hurt your area.
No, I'd be thrilled.
Folks, we all would be. But we got engaged in, and we talked about that for years. And you must engage. You must. And the people we need to engage with right now, all the people up and down your neighborhood, they just haven't thought about the reality of this race. I'm telling you, they have not gone deep enough. Your neighbors, they have not bothered to pay attention enough to know that this is about socialism. It's what it is, pure and simple. It's about socialism. Do you want it to be?
How old do you have to be, Larry, to run for one of these offices in Congress?
I don't know.
I can't remember if it was 25 or 30. It's 25, isn't it? Not 35. I think it's 25.
I think maybe it's 25. We thought it might be like 18, but it's not.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't know. You just need to find that out.
We looked it up, and I forgot now because it's been a couple years since we looked it up. But folks, if you know some dynamic young people who could run for office, you know, a homeschooler who's interested in politics, get them to run, get them to file their application fee, put them in touch with us, and we'll help them.
I promise you it will work. It will work. We got to do it. Well, I see nothing has come in. PayPal's in the phone. So, folks, you know, engage. Engage. To engage means to do something. Do something. You don't have to do it for me. Do it for the country. You don't have to do it for the country. Do it for your family. Good God, you can't wish in your worst day, you can't wish America to end up like Venezuela. You can't. And that's exactly the course we're on. I swear to you, that's the course we're on. And we've got one more chance to stop it. One. And that's the election in 2020. One more chance to stop it, or it's gone.
And Larry said that 2018 might have even been our last election because look what the Democrats are doing for having taken over the House. They're doing everything they can to rig 2020.
If the Democrats had taken over the House and the Senate, it would be over now. We would be finished now because Trump would be moving in every direction. There would be nothing he could do, nothing he could get past, nothing. And what he's trying to pass, of course, are the things he promised that he would do for all of us. Please engage. Well, Mary Ellen, for that, if there's no more questions, are there
just a repeat of the conference call number, and we're getting together on it in 8 minutes. So I'm just typing it in: 712-451-0725, and the access code is 492215#.
All right, folks. Know that you can help make out as soon as you can to make about 5 shirts to kick it off. We need it. With that, Mary Ellen, that's me. I'm done.
Okay.
Have a good day, folks. How about you, Mary Ellen?
I'm going to say goodbye as well. I need to grab a bottle of water before we do the conference call. So thank you, folks.
That's great.
Well, thank you, and I will show you the T-shirt tomorrow. I have to do something to figure out better lighting so you can actually see it, because where I was sitting, it was so washed out you couldn't see what it was. So we'll figure that out for tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. God bless.